Hello, fourth graders. Thank you for joining me today for Number Corner. We are doing a problem string today, so you're going to need to turn to the last page or one of the last pages in your Number Corner student book, and let's go ahead and get started. If you are not using your student book, you can just use the virtual here. So our first problem is 14 times 16, and I have 16 squares here, or tiles that we're going to use. You can go ahead and in your math kits, you should see little square tiles. You can go ahead and use those if you have them. Now, I invite you to think and talk about this problem. So go ahead and work through this problem right now. We're going to pause. I want you to unpause when you've kind of figured it out or once you have an idea. All right, here we go. So one way that you could have looked at this was you could have looked at it as, when you think about 16, you could think about it as 4 groups of 4. So you could almost look at it like this is a group here. This is a group here, and these are 2 different groups. That's kind of how you could look at it. That's one way that you could. So for example, something like this. So we could look at it like this is 1 out of 4 of them, because there are 1, 2, 3, and then 4 in total. There are 4 groups of 4. So that's one way that you could have looked at it. You could have also looked at it like this. You could have looked at it like, if I move this just a little bit more, we know that half of 16 is 8. So I know that half of 16 is right here. So I could go down, cut that in half, and then I could just cut that 8 in half again. So I could cut it like this. And so my 1/4 times 16 would be these 4 squares right here. Now, let's just think a little bit more. What we are able to see is that when we multiply this fraction 1/4 times 16, we get a nice number of 4 because there are 4 groups of 4. That's 1/4 of 16. Now, if we go on to the next problem, it says 1/8 times 16. Okay, 1/8 times 16. So we still have our 16 here, but instead of doing 1/4, we are going to do 1/8. So go ahead, and I'm going to pause my video. You're going to do the same thing. Once you have an idea or a thought, go ahead and restart the video, and we'll go and see what it is. Now, I encourage you to use the past problems and the past problems answers to solve these other problems. So for this one, what we're going to do is we are going to find, remember how we separated it into 1/2? So we did 1/2, this, and then we did a 1/4. Well, if we break it down even further, we could break the 4ths down and split the 4ths in half, because if we multiply 2 times 4 equals 8. So if we half it, that means that we're going to get to 1/2. So that must mean that 1/8 times 16 is going to be 2, because we are able to see that there are this is 1 group, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 pairs in this group of 16. So 1/8 times 16 looks like this. So what's interesting is that, or I'll let you know what I'm noticing in just a second, but let's keep going on here. I'm going to just erase this drawing. All right, so the third problem that we're going to work through together is 8 times 2 equals 16. So when we have 8 times, or 2, oh, I said that completely wrong. I said 2 times 8 equals 16. I meant 2/8 times 16 equals blank. So now we're looking for 2/8. Go ahead, pause the video, and we'll come back with an answer. Well, if we wanted to just use a part of our answer from the last problem? We had 1/8. Well, what if we have 2/8? Well, let's see. 2/8, we could just add. Remember how I counted out that this was 1, this was 2 groups, like these two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the 8 different groups. Well, if we just add, not that. If we just add these two to this group, we can see that these are 2 squares and these are 2 squares. That equals 4 of the squares. So 2/8 times 16 equals 4. All right, we're going to keep going on here. So the next problem that we're going to do is, once I move these back just a little bit. Okay, the next problem that we're going to look at is 3/8 times 16. Do you see a pattern anywhere? What can we do here? Well, pause the video and we'll find out. So I actually forgot. With these other problems, there are different ways that we can use an equation for. So let's think back to 1/8 times 16. Or no, 2/8 times 16, sorry. When we have 2/8 times 16, it looks something like this. 2/8 times 16. And that equals, well, we know already, but if we just keep it like 2/8 times 16, we can see that we were taking 2 and we multiplied that by 1/8, because we were taking the 2 groups, the 2 pieces, and we were taking them out. That was our answer. So, or it could have also been, and then if we'd have to multiply it by 16 to get our 2/8. But when we did 2/8 times 16, or no, let's do 3/8. Sorry, I'm going all over the place right now. Okay, that was our equation for that one. Now 3/8 times 16. Well, remember, if this is 1/8, this is 2/8. 3/8, we're just going to add another 2. So that is 3/8 right there, because we got 1, 2, 3 out of 8 in total. There are 8 total groups. So then that means that we must have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our answer is going to be 6. So with an equation, what we can see, sorry, that equals 4. We can see that this was 3/8 times 16. So what we did was we did 3 multiplied by 1/8. And that way we were able to get our 3 groups of 2. And then we multiplied that by 16 to get our total of 6. So great job there. We're going to keep going. We got 2 more to go through, and then we got some homework problems. So keep pushing. The next one is 5/8 times 16. 5/8. That fits our pattern. So right now we have 1. Here, I'll mark it down. We have 1, 2, 3/8. So now we're going to need to add 4 and then 5. So this is 5/8. Now, it might look a little bit different because it's not in one grouping, but this is what we have left over. So in total, if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 5/8 times 16 equals 10. If we think about that in equation form, we did pretty much the same thing that we have been doing. We did 5/8 times 16, so we looked for 5 groupings of 1/8, and then we just multiplied that by 16, which got us our total of, because we had 16 pieces in total. So that's why we were able to get 10 pieces overall. So now, let's keep going. We got our last problem here. It says 3/4 times 24. All right, well, This one's a lot different than the last problems that we've been doing. So what I want you to do, we're going to pause, and I want you to use what you've learned in these last problems here to solve this one, and then we'll come back. All right, so I have 24 pieces right here. What we're going to do, you've already solved it, so we're checking our answers right now. So with this, I have 24 cubes here. And so I'm going to try to figure out 3/4 times 24. So what I'm going to first try to do is figure out what is 1/4 of 24. So if we think about that, let's see right here. Look at how I set it up. Did I set it up to be specific to my problem? Yeah, I did. Because if we're looking for splitting it up into fourths, well, this is a fourth, that's a fourth, that's a fourth. So all four of these columns are 1/4. So if I circle one of them, or this will be one group of 4. So this will be 1/4. That means I have 6 squares in 1/4. So what I'm going to do to try to figure out what 3/4 is I'm going to multiply that by 3. Because I have 1, 2, 3/4 times 24. So that's 24 cubes in total. So 6 times 3, that gets us our total of 18 cubes. So this is going to be what you do today during your math time while you're working, is you are going to go ahead and you are going to use the tile squares to create images and groupings that you can use. And I want you to solve through the problems that are going to be on the next page. Now, this page here says, what rules / patterns / relationships do you use to multiply whole numbers by fractions? This is a problem I want you to write in detail. And then on the next page, you have your homework. So let's go ahead and check what that is. All right, here is your homework for today. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 problems to do with Number Corner for today. These are, some of them are a little bit more challenging. Some of them are a little bit on the easier side. So if you have any trouble with any of these, feel free to let your teacher know. Let me know, or come to the math workshop, because I would love to help you out there. Otherwise, if you have any questions, again, please come to math workshop. Otherwise, have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.